Welcome back to the channel, everybody. We got the three Amigos all lined up outside. They're all 330 Ci's, the 2001 Vert, my Autocross 03, and the Silver 01. Remember this one, we've done a bunch of work on that. We've got parts ordered for that, and I think they've been talking to each other because all three are currently broken. The silver car, really not too much. We've got the rear diff bushing is still due. Somehow I missed the flex disc is pretty bad on it, so we'll have to drop the exhaust out, the drive shaft out. We'll drop the diff out to do that diff bushing. We'll replace the front ones and the center support bearing all while you're in there. It also has a random yaw sensor code that pops up, comes and goes. Sometimes it'll be off for 100 miles or so. I'll probably try to find a yaw sensor for that. But other than that, it's pretty good to go. And my cracked windshield just got a bit more. So it was from here to about here. And it's hard to see with the sun, but it goes all the way down now. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to put a glass in it. I mean, it's shouldn't be too bad. We'll get that one in. The red Vert, we last video on that, we ordered a whole bunch of parts. They're here. Just been kind of busy. Today was supposed to be the day that I was filming the repairs on that, which is mostly the front suspension, lower control arms, the oil pan gasket, and engine mounts. This also has a yaw sensor code, which is kind of crazy. I tried to pick one up, but it's actually the newer style that I got. So I got one coming from eBay. Hopefully that'll take care of the yaw sensor code on that car. And then comes to old reliable, my 03 330 Ci that I autocross with. That has decided to have a fit. And I think these three have been talking to each other and infecting each other, because a little over a week ago, she got the yellow triangle and yellow brake light on, scanned it, and guess what? Yaw sensor code. How could all three of these cards all have a yaw sensor code? I didn't pay much mind. It really only disables the DSC, the skid control. Not a big deal because I autocross. I turned that off anyway. Went to autocross last Sunday, and unfortunately then it developed an ABS light. And the fun part about that was sometimes ABS works, sometimes it didn't, and I had lots and lots of fun. I'll throw a quick little clip up one of my runs. Never knew if I was gonna have ABS or not when I entered a corner, and was just having a whole lot of trouble with it. Got it home, scanned it, ABS sensor, picked a used one up because FCP Euro, I carry one that's really cheap. It was 2 to 3 weeks out. I've got a autocross coming up next Sunday, and I want ABS for it. So I picked a used one up, threw it in. That seems to be good. Still have the yaw sensor code. Then we decided yesterday to go up into the mountains and tool around a little bit in the twisties, northern Georgia. And she decided to develop some really not good noises. So we're gonna have to actually pull this one in to the shop, get her up in the air, and see what's going on. I'll start it up here for you guys in a second, but it's not sounding good. Let's go ahead and start this thing up so you can hear the fun. So with the clutch in, sounds pretty normal. Clutch back in. She's still rumbling a bit. Oh, there we go. Sounds like we got a box of marbles floating around. Not really sure what that is. Could just be a throttle bearing, but I really don't think so, because it does still make it with the clutch depressed. Could also be the harmonic balancer. Those things can go, and make a lot of noise. I'm hoping that's all it is. So let's move some cars around. We'll get her in the air and take a look-see. All right, here we are under. I really haven't crawled under yet. I just kind of got her up in the air, got down on the cart, and here you can see one reason why I agree with the Facebook page of why I hate ECS tuning. These are Turner Motorsport bars. That's actually the second set, because the first set came in with the paint all scratched up, and I tried to send it back. They gave me a huge runaround. They made me buy another set, then return them. Fine, whatever. But it took them about 2 weeks for them to tell me that that's what they wanted to do, and I missed a autocross event because of it. And now look, even more paint's coming off of it. It's getting surface rust, and you know, this has not seen salt since we put that on there, so it kind of bugs me. But it is what it is. I can take it down, scrub it up, paint it, whatever. All right, so anywho, another look under here. I don't see anything obvious with the harmonic balancer, but we'll fire it up here in a minute and see if we can locate the noise, if it's up front or if it's in the back. We can also take the belts off, see if there's anything. Pretty nice and dry under here. Don't see any issues there. Oil pan is nice and dry. I did that a year or two ago. Now we do have a bit of fluid here on the trans. I don't know if it looks like it's coming from up top, so probably one of the Dayton bushings that I didn't seal well. We'll probably drain the oil too if it sounds like that might be the source. Let's go back a little further. See, our flex disc looks nice. No issues there. Trans mounts look good. I've done the engine mounts before. So far, so good. I don't see any smoking guns. You know, nothing hanging outside the transmission, which is good. Let's see, go back a little further. I know the noise is back here, but we're on here. Let's take a quick gander. And for being a car from New York, like, these are probably the worst bits of rust on the car. Just those little reinforcement plates. The rest of the underside is really clean, as you guys can see. Certainly not as pretty as something that's never seen salt. Our diff is, it looks like we just need a new washer for our fill plug. The rest of it's pretty dry. This just had all new bushings back here, all OEM Lemforder. Their mounting point looks good. Subframe mounting points. It's always a worry with these. The later cars don't seem to have the problem as much, but it can certainly still happen. And a lot of times you can't see unless you have it actually down. But I did have the whole subframe out, and when I did all the bushings back here, I elected not to reinforce, which probably was a dumb idea, but that's the road we went. Let's see, CV boots all look good, both sides. Yeah, so I think next step is start it up. Let's start it up and we'll get under it and see if we can locate the source of that noise. All right. I am pretty confident it's a harmonic balancer. It's definitely sounding about where the noise is from, or it's something inside the freaking motor. Not hard to tell. No, that's in the trans. No, it kind of sounds like this area of the motor. It's so hard to tell. I can't feel it. No, it's definitely not a harmonic balancer. It's more central engine. I really don't know. When you do clutch it, it goes away. So that's why I don't think it's engine. press neutral, clutch out. Clutch in, and I can rev it in gear. No, we still get it even with clutch in. But it virtually goes away when you clutch. I think our next course here is strain the engine oil, see what that looks like. Let's see if we got any sparkles. And then we can drain the transmission, see if there's crap in there. So let me get under there with a clean drain pan and let's see what comes out. All right, before we do that, now we check our oil filter and see if we see any presence in there. I was really hoping it was just the harmonic balancer, but it doesn't sound like from that area. What does the survey say? What's behind door number 1? See anything obvious? Not seeing any metal in there. All right, let's see if we got any surprises behind door number 2. So we just changed this oil, I don't know, a couple hundred miles ago. Nice and brownish. I don't really see anything. I just think there's some aeration bubbles there. I don't see any glitter, so that's good. So I don't think bottom end came apart. I'm gonna do the right thing and just pour this oil back in. This is a clean bucket. I just want to be able to run it. I don't have any fresh oil here. This has only got a couple hundred miles on it, so it's really not gonna hurt anything. And then once we figure out what's going on with it, we'll do a full oil change on it. I mean, that's no question, but at least this way I've got oil in it. If I need to move the car around, I still can. All right, so now we're back at the transmission. Want to drain that fluid, see what that's like. I've pulled the fill plug. You always pull that first because if you can't put fluid back in it, there's no sense taking fluid out. Crazily enough, all that is what's already come out. It was way over full. I don't know how. I mean, I filled it on the ground, I think, when I put the trans back in, but I thought I checked it. But the other issue is it's like really thin. I mean, it's just dripping off like water. I wonder if a bunch of water got in this somehow. Might also take that drain plug off, see what, I got in surprise for us there, and it's kind of hard to see here, but there's a lot of glitter. I mean, a lot of glitter. So I'm sure we're not gonna find anything good when we drop that. All right, let's take this drain plug out, 17 mil. Oh, she's in there. Please not be all water and glitter. I think that's what we're gonna find. All right, you guys ready? We're about half a thread off. My heart's in my throat. I can already see like water coming out. This is thicker. There was a little water in there. Nothing on the drain plug, no goop. I mean, no chunks came out, that's plus. But there's glitter. Yeah, lots of glitter. If you guys can't tell in my voice, I'm really devastated. This car has been so good. I don't know what could have gone wrong, but something in there is definitely not happy. Now let me put the plugs back in. Here's the gear lube out of the trans, and that is not good. That is a lot of aluminum. So So it looks like I'm on the hunt for a manual trans. You know, generally these ZF5 speeds are pretty indestructible, but apparently not this one. I don't know what happened. Water got in it and something got messed up. I don't know, but that is not good. Yeah, I think she's toast. 174,000 miles. Spent the last 4 years autocrossing it. I mean, you don't beat on the transmission too much in autocross. I mean, it's first and second gear, and then you're in second gear the rest of the run. But you know, I don't know if I told you guys, but the person I bought this from was a literal crackhead. I did find his pipe underneath the parking brake boot. So who knows what he's done to this thing. I've gone through pretty much every nut and bolt on it, but you know, things like that, you're never gonna know. So I think I have enough gear oil, and obviously I'm not gonna put that back in it. Thought about started taking out the trans today, but honestly, the car still moves. And if I take that out, then I'm down. This thing's stuck in the garage until I get that transmission. And I might find one this week. It might be 2 weeks, a month from now. I don't know. And I'd rather get back to work on the 2 project cars. We got to finish the silver one. There's really not a ton left. I got the rest of the parts for the drive shaft coming in tomorrow, a new flex disc and center support bearing, and the front diff bushing. So I think this is the one to focus on. Get this done and get it sold. And I have someone interested in the red vert. I haven't touched anything on that yet. I've got all the parts here, but that's got to get done. And you know, they're both probably 2-day jobs. The silver car I probably finish in 1 day, but at least 2 days worth of work on that the red vert. Having this bay, I think that's the ticket. We'll cross the transmission bridge when we get to it on this. Like I said, it's still movable. I can get it in and out, move it around the driveway. Obviously, I'm not going to make it any worse, but I think that's a go-to. So sad news this week. My baby's hurting, so we're gonna have to, we'll pull this out and get it out of the way and get those other cars finished, get them out of here. So we also want to get that M3 over here from the other video. So once these 2 are gone, I can pick up that M3 and we can start working on that. Well, I think I want to wrap this one up here, guys. Pretty crushed, but I think I'm gonna just fill the trans back up with some whatever gear oil I got laying around, and get it back outside so we can work on the other cars. And we'll start our hunt for another transmission. Thank you all for watching, appreciate it. Make sure to like and subscribe. Channel's growing really great, and loving all the comments. It's really fun chatting with y'all, and we will see you in the next one.